Hiya, Honest Discussioner here. Before we begin, a quick shout out to Edman Rapparoo, my 300th subscriber.
But from free Greek to free Greek, the word was spread that bold
Honest Discussioner.
and he's 300, so far from home, laid down their lives. This day, we rescue a world from mysticism and tyranny, and usher in a future brighter than anything we can imagine.
Honest Discussioner.
And the brave 300 to victory!
Yeah, that was a good movie. So I have 300 subscribers. Now 301 is the official count, although really it's probably less than that. I know at least a couple guys have different accounts who are all subscribed to me. Not really complaining, but just thank you to everyone. And for those of you that don't know, my new subscribers, I do drink some bourbon occasionally in my videos. Oh, that's a good burn. Speaking of burn, today's topic is hell! Okay, I don't know what that was, but the reason I want to talk to you about it is that someone PM'd me and asked me if I have any issues with other religions besides Christianity. And I responded that there basically is one thing that can about a religion that can tell you whether or not I have a problem with it. And that would be the belief that lack of belief in that particular religion will grant you eternity in hell. Now, why do I focus in on this? Well, really, when I was going through my deconversion, I was very afraid of hell, and that was the only thing really keeping me around for the most part. And at the same time, it's also what helped me convert, because it made absolutely no sense to me. And as I sat there praying to God to grant me his wisdom on these matters and to help me understand the Bible, which is the exact opposite of what happened. The more I read, the more I prayed, the less convinced I was. So as I'm praying about this, I'm also thinking about it. And for a lot of the more fundamental aspects of religion, I'm sure a lot of you are aware, thinking can kind of be the kryptonite of certain religious beliefs. Creationism, and in this case, hell. The reason being is that, especially after I've studied psychology in college, I can tell, and I think I can show, that the biblical version of punishment, OT or NT, is incredibly childish. And that's what mainly got me to deconvert, was this blatant inconsistency in the Christian argument. Because on the one hand, God is omnipotent, omniscient, smart enough to create all the laws of the universe. The transcendental argument states that he invented the laws of logic, and he embodies logic, therefore. And yet, the biblical form of punishment is so incredibly childish, so incredibly primitive in its methodology. I can liken it to the justice system that we have here in America, and probably in many other countries around the world, really. We hold to the biblical retributional form of punishment. Now, if you're a parent of a child, or you're a babysitter, you are in charge of someone who is less than you on a cognitive scale, let's say, and they do something wrong, the general thing to do is to punish them, and I'd agree with you, but why? Why do you punish them? Do you punish them because they dare to disobey you and you have to put them in their place? Some people are like that. The good parents, the ones that I think have the most success, are the ones that punish out of love. The ones that punish because they don't want that child to do that action again. Because the reason why they have the rule that they broke is because breaking that rule could bring harm upon them. If a child's going to touch the stove, you smack their hand. Not because they disobeyed you, but because you don't want them to touch the stove, because they will really get hurt. Now, juxtapose that with our justice system, and biblical punishment as well. If you do something wrong, then you must pay a penalty. whether it be financial or through spending time in jail. Now, whether or not you learn your lesson is oftentimes irrelevant. What you really, it's just, you did this, society gets the right to beat you down because you broke the law. And while I'm sure some people get a sense of satisfaction out of this retribution-like justice, it's not conducive to a great society. If we want to be a great society, we don't punish, we rehabilitate. That might be impossible under certain situations with some psychotic individuals, but I would say that instead of making people's job prospects really crappy, making sure that they have a record and that they can't get a job if they ever had an arrest for marijuana use, that's not conducive towards creating a great society, because now the only job prospects they have is crime. I mean, how many people have gone into jail worse than they came out as citizens of this country? And that's how biblical punishment works. You do a crime, God is going to punish you because you dared to disobey him. Not when liberal atheists are more moral than what you claim God is, I think your claims about God might be a little bit off. So when you are going to tell me that you believe that I'm going to go to hell, I'm going to tell you that whoever came up with that idea is either very primitive, very childish, or an idiot. Now, of course, you'll probably say there's the moderate version of hell, which is just, it's a separation from God. The fire and the brimstone, that was just a metaphor, even though it's explained in detail. But no, it's a separation from God, so it's just incredible loneliness, which happens to feel a lot like fire and worms eating you. Even that is still a bit childish. Now, if you're going to hold to Don Exodus, or even, I think, Wildcard said this as well, to some extent, if you're going to say that we get a chance to accept Jesus when we die, or reject him, then I'm not really going to have an argument with you on that. That's at least makes a little bit of sense. But if you're going to claim that we are separated from God eternally, that our eternity is decided upon by our 99 years, 120 tops of existence, then we're going to have some problems. If you think about it biblically, and contradict me if I'm wrong here, you are responsible for your soul after the age of 13. So you're baptized and you're okay until you're 13, no matter what you do. I think your sin is on your parents at that point. But after 13, you will go to hell if you're not a Christian, or you don't believe in God. Now, if you think about the fact that 14-year-old minds are incredibly underdeveloped and not very rational in any sense, that they would go to hell based on that. How many people have died, Christians, who maybe would have been atheists if they had lived an extra 20, 30 years, and vice versa? How many atheists may have converted to Christianity in their old age? I would say that there's probably been a couple of cases where that would have happened if things had turned out differently. But that doesn't matter. God kind of just chooses when he's going to judge you. Once he decides to take your life, that's the point. Do we really think that all the people that died in their early 20s, that they would be the same people that they were when they died at 80? All of them? Hell does not make any sense. It's an incredibly childish and incredibly primitive way of looking at punishment, and human beings have come up with way better scenarios that actually benefit the individual and the society as well. If you're going to claim that the omnipotent creator of the universe is a spoiled 2-year-old who says you didn't believe in me, so I'm going to put you in hell, well then fine, go ahead. But I think I'm going to stick with atheism, agnosticism, if that's okay with you. And while there could possibly be a heaven, maybe I'll see you there if there's some deistic type of God out there, I won't be seeing you in hell, because there is no such thing. Have a nice day. Honest Discussioner, out.